working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital.
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Mordför är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Ça, c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça, sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco. Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec Élise. Moi, c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues. 10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nej. Nej. Man. Igen. Jo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bamba, okay, Bambas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon. Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré, des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré, des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, ecco, la gente, è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi, dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io. I buy a computer or what? Here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or sounds vaguely like hogun and the hook in hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that means it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, sa son chassé, ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt. Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. Yo soy Elisa, traductora, escritora y editora y comunicadora social con más de 20 idiomas de trabajo. Y aquí vamos a estar jugando videojuegos, sobre todo GeoGuessr, y hablando de idioma, la mejor forma de aprenderlo y caleta más. Zwei Zwetschgenzweigen zwitscherten zwei tschechische Schwalben. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal en tres tristes trastos. Oh, I see. This is Diche Ishai Fui, which means, do you want food? But, yeah, are you hungry? That kind of thing. How are the boys? Cocine da boy. Posso Milao. Pote. When is it? Proteine. Protocolo. In the designated chicken eating area, obviously. Okay, still 3 times I have to defeat him. And I don't have a whole lot of health left. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Monsieur. Livre. Liwe, livre.
Bucks
Mustan kissan paksut posket.
Macieje.
Ja.
Ja. Sy. Vysoký. Macieje. Proč? Nítek. Počkej. A. Sy.
Track 6.
Aspri Petra xes aspri apton ilio xex asproteri. Aspri Petra xes aspri apton ilio xes asproteri.
Ten coginio panas.
Oh boy.
Ad ferad verda ferra ferda vedri.
Jakob. Hefed. 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 Hek. Hek. Hek.
Саша по шоссе.
А Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку. А Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку.
Mwalimu.
Juma ni mwalimu mke.
Ирак чима в чипах щемп чавю ченчи чини. Чирак чима в чипа да, чирак чима в чипцах щемп чавю ченчи чини. Акакит альшит. Хикрин. Акакит альши хикрин. Акакит альши хикринепс. Oh, thanks to cat suns. Meow and the pictures of the fish. That's they were well.
Sööpä. Kupu. Yrittävä. Huraista. Omena.
Are in the city center. And it's got some interesting aspects to it.
여자는 어느 나라에 있습니까? 여자는 어느 나라에 있습니까? 여자는 어느 나라에 있습니까?
Countries or living things.
兄の名前は
Oh, thank you, Badger. Hello and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I'm Elise, translator, writer, and editor with 20 working languages. And this is the stream where we're going to play some GeoGuessr and look at the best and maybe some of the not so best of language learning YouTube. Hopefully you can hear me now. I had been recording some video clips for something that I'm working on, and I turned off the audio input on OBS. So I was a little bit delayed, as you know, because well, my nieces came over to have waffles, as they used to do quite often, and it's been a while, so that was wonderful. And then, as some of you may be aware, my translation of Alexandra Kalantai's Social Basis of the Female Question, which is the first full-length English language translation of that book, is going to be published in book form later this year. And we're in the process of finishing the copy edit and getting it ready for typesetting. And I had an email that I had to answer with all sorts of queries related to that. And I had to just get that out of there. And then I realized I wanted to update the About the Translator section to include some current stuff I'm working on that I don't think I had in there. Because I finished this in 2023. So I had to send one last email there, so that's why I'm a little bit delayed. I hope it wasn't too much trouble. We're going to start out with the daily challenge and see how we go. How you doing, Badger? Okay. Salida camione. Okay, that sounds... well, it's actually hard to say. This camione is a very widely used word, but these signs look European so far. So we might be in Spain. Ebro, la cerebro. Sí, parece entonces que estamos en España. Cerveza. Yeah, none of these brands. This does not look like an industrial estate in South America. And Ebro, that does sound like Spain, so I'm going to say around here. Yes, okay, 39.50, not too bad. Oh, you never know who's listening. Stare hojni strzelecka, szumna. Okay, looks like we're in Poland. Possibly, I mean, these... something about this, the houses feel distinctly German. So I'm thinking possibly someplace in what used to be Silesia. Koniec. Nagrobki, kamienarstwo. I'm gonna say somewhere around here. No, not quite right, but not too bad. Łódź. Okay. This definitely does not feel Western European. It's been a while since I've been to the Netherlands. I only spent a very brief time there anyway. I spent the night in Amsterdam on the way to visit my family in Cincinnati years ago. Okay, that is a gas line, and that tells me we're probably in Russia. Ooh, it's Улица 20-го подъезда, дом 1G. Okay, the street, that's a new street name. That's the street of the 20th Party Congress. Okay, Russia, fuck knows. It's the middle of nowhere. Not as bad as I thought. It's by Samara. Okay, 3879. That could be much worse in Russia. Grahamstown Foundation, 1820 settlers. I mean, I would have said from the color of that sign, wait, 800 meters. Okay. So we're not in the US, clearly. And the color of that sign immediately made me think Britain, but Britain doesn't do meters, they do yards. "112" is the police number. So that doesn't sound like Australia. Australia's 999. New Zealand, maybe? South Africa National Roads Agency in South Africa. Okay. And judging from the way that looks, I'm going to say someplace fairly central, and no, we are down by Hebera. 3628. Japan, knew it, just looking at the shape of the road. Okay, where in Japan, though? There's a lot of Japan. There's more than you expect, because they like to talk about how small the country is in their anti-speeding traffic public service ads. There was this slogan for a long time ago. "Semai Nihon ni wa nande sonna ni hayaku unten shiteru?" Why are you driving so fast in such a small country? So, okay, this looks fairly urban. Demo, どこなのかというのは大疑問なんで。四国なのか。Okay, well, we know what island it is anyway. Shikoku nara Matsuyama kashira. 4762. 2489. Not a bad start there. Not a bad start at all. Okay, so now for some world with no time control. Okay. This feels like this feels like possibly New York, actually. Empire State Restoration. Yes, we are in New York. What street is this? Perry and Bleecker. West Village. Okay. I have a fairly good idea where that is. Let's see. Well, there's East Village. Where is Bleecker? Greenwich Avenue, Greenwich Street, 6th Avenue. actually, let's look at it over here first. That will be less of a pain in the ass. Green, Mercer, Houston. Ah, there's West Village. Christopher Street. Home to the Stonewall Inn. Broadway, Lafayette, Broome. Christie, Bowery, Houston. Oh, there's Bleecker Street. Mott, Mulberry, Worcester, Thompson, Sullivan. Ah, Minetta Street. That is where one of my favorite poets, when she was a refugee in New York, lived. Masha Kaleko. In fact, she has a poem where she said, you know, if they ever get around to deciding who gets to put up a plaque that says, this is where she lived, her vote was for Minetta Street. I have actually visited there. And there is a plaque. And it has that poem in it. But let me see, what is it? Bleecker and Perry? Mulberry, Lafayette, Crosby, Worcester, Mercer. Where the hell does Bleecker resume at some point? Okay, where the hell is Perry? I don't see a Perry. Oh, Bleecker does resume in a weird way that does make a great deal of sense. Which is rare because actually, like, here we go. For the most part, New York has very easy, very user-friendly streets, street grid. Because you have so many numbers, and the numbers are consistent. Okay. Okay, there's Bleecker. There we go. 5,000 points. Yep. 86 meters away. Okay. Wait, what the hell just happened? That wasn't supposed to happen. Thank you. Good, it unhappened. Where in the Netherlands is your cousin? Something about this makes me think California. Just this topography feels Cali. Ah, wonderful. Low resolution. Come on, get me some high-res images, please. And some signs would be nice. But I do feel like we are in, like, central to southern California. California is really handy in that the topography. Oh, neat. They speak a very interesting language in Friesland. California is one of the few U.S. states that I can generally sort of pick based on the topography. Because it has very clear and delineated zones, and they happen to be Chile, but upside down. Well, we should get a sign that says, okay, we're heading east. On a road like this, which appears to be, I would guess, a state highway, something like that. Heerenveen. Heerenveen. Now, Heeren. We should be getting a sign at some point that says what we're approaching, gives us distances or something like that. Did you see the artwork I did for LA? That I put it up in the other streams Discord. Come on, give me... Okay, well, the signage does sound like... I mean, that's green signage with that sort of off-white numbering. That does sound US, which continues to make me think we are indeed in some part of Central California. Possibly Southern Central. Possibly someplace not far from LA. If we see a badly damaged Waymo, we'll know that we're near LA. Come on, this much distance and no signage? Other than a mile marker? Come on, you gotta say where we're on the way to. That's how highways are supposed to work. Well, let's just for drill see what east-west roads there are in this sort of general vicinity. the LA outskirts, I would say probably a state route. No, but there is a seagull. It's sort of hidden in the drawing. Which is where I hide my signatures. Yeah, maybe. I mean, this... Would you agree with me that this feels like it's probably not far? It's probably Southern California or approaching Southern California? Oh, here we go. We got a sign. And what does it say? Vantage and Hunsinger Road. Things I've never heard of. California is full of so many places I've never heard of. Goffs, Baghdad, Amboy, Adelanto, Mojave, Keene, Bakersfield, McKittrick. Yeah, that's too green. Gaviota. Oxnard is a great name, of course. It makes you wonder if there's a town someplace in the Southern California backwater is called Cownut. Like, just to keep with the animal testicle theme. Ginkgo and Petrified Forest State Park. Yeah, I mean, this feels... See, I mean, my knowledge of California geography becomes less granular, like, the minute you leave LA. Because what I have is... I've taken the train down the length of it, at least as far as you can, from Seattle to LA. So I've seen the way the topography shifts, but the only bit of California that I have any real idea how the layout works is LA, and there it's basically the areas between Echo Park and DTLA and like Boyle Heights and that sort of general surrounding. And the minute you get out of there, I immediately get a bit lost. Petrified Forest. God, where is Or is Petrified Forest not in California, though? That's also a possibility. Sheep Hole Valley. The San Bernardino National Forest. Palomar. Chino Hills. Death Valley, Sequoia National Forest. Big Pine. Wait, hang on. Okay, Cascade State Park. Ginkgo, Petrified Forest. And there's of course, in Northern California, there's a town called Weed. I mean, Cascade almost sounds more northern than I was expecting. But but like it does not look like Northern California. So this is throwing me off, unless it's just off in like western Nevada or western Arizona or something like that, which is a possibility. Desert National Wildlife Review, Lake Mead, Parashant. And we're already to Mexico. Exit 136. It would help if we knew what road this actually is. Yeah, I mean, there's no way this is Northern California. I mean, I know there have been a few fires up there since I was last in Northern California, but I don't think it looks like this yet. Okay, more signs coming up. Could one of them give me a junction? That would be nice. Oh no, this is Vantage and Hunsinger Road. Well, okay, I'm going to take this exit. The exit will tell me at least what road we're getting onto. Okay, exit 136. Vantage. Leaving Apple Maggot Quarantine Area. Tourist activity. If you want to watch like active tourist situations, this is the place to do it. Okay, I-90. Wait, east to Spokane? Are we in Washington? I guess. I mean, wait a second. So, Tyler, Sprague. Hang on, what did it say? East to Spokane, so west of Spokane. Vantage. Okay, now this is confusing the shit out of me, because if we've been on the I-90 this whole time, like, I mean, that doesn't look like Washington to me. Wanapum Village, though. Vantage. Oh, we got it. We got it. Wow. Okay. Totally not, and not only is it not totally not NorCal, it's not even Cal. It's Sal Wash. Like, I am so glad. Like last week at some point, I just decided I was not finding anything. I would think no, it was in the Daily Challenge, so I didn't have time to really go in detail or anything like that. And so I was like, okay, this looks like Southern California someplace. We're just going to say it's Southern California and hope. And I was right. But I did not realize that Washington has an entire decoy Southern California. Fucking Washington. I mean, it's bad enough that they have a decoy Vancouver. Which, if you're like in Vancouver, BC, in the middle of the night and you want to order pizza, the thing about Vancouver, BC is you look up pizza Vancouver and you get these results for pizza in Vancouver, and you go through the whole process of ordering and you get to the checkout and you notice it's Vancouver, Washington. You like have to go through all of that before they'll say no. This is not Canada. I went through I had like 5 different like pizzas that I almost ordered before discovering that I was going to be asking them to go through customs. Vantage. Okay, there we go. 49.77. Oh, it said it was a fantastic guess. I guess it felt I needed encouragement considering how long I took. I'm glad I did not trust my instincts on that one and say that this was probably someplace near like Bakersfield. I would have been a little bit off. Okay. Lush forest area, kind of scrubby. Could be a lot of places so far. Transporte Yurquina. Okay, it's someplace Spanish speaking. Yurquina no me dice nada. I have no idea what Yurquina. I mean, that is not a place name I have ever heard. Así que no me vamos a fijar mucho en eso. We could be in Colombia. It feels very lush and tropical anyway. Okay, street food. This isn't street food, that's a bus stop. I was gonna say, you can learn a lot by whether the, like, street vendors that you see on these major roads in South America are selling, you know, tortilla, are they selling tacos, are they selling arepa, pupusa, mote con huesillo. You can usually work out pretty well what country you're in just by the snacks. But that wasn't selling any snacks, that's a bus stop. It was just selling graffiti. Come on. So, I mean, bad signage, but reasonably good infrastructure for the most part. Okay, but this is, okay, I'm gonna say this is probably not any place further south than, like, Colombia. Or maybe Ecuador. There are, like, the bits of Peru that have this kind of vegetation are also extremely mountainous, and I don't see any sign of mountains here. There is a fair bit of Colombia that looks like this. Jesus, you wouldn't want to get lost on one of these roads, because it's miles before you see any kind of signage saying where the hell you are. Oh, hang on. It's a Peugeot. Okay. Posh car. Hej! Jag måste vakna upp relativt tidigt idag. Hur har du det? Vi finns någonstans i Sydamerika, men jag vet inte folk akkurat. Kanske Colombien, kanske Venezuela, kanske Ecuador. Men... Hey, vänt. Vad var det? Propiedad privada, prohibido cazar. Okay, well that is confirmation anyway that this is definitely a Spanish-speaking place and not Brazil. Also, you're not allowed to hunt there, it's private property. I was told today that I am the fun ant, which is cool. Oh wait, hang on, we got cops. That's very handy. In this one, okay, Salta. In this one context, cops are very handy because la ayuda, la cana, como dicen en Argentina, acaba de explicarnos que nos encontramos en Argentina. Estamos cerca de Salta. Okay, we know where we are more or less. We are someplace near Salta in northern Argentina. Policía Federal. Okay, yes, I know. Ja. Og hvorfor må du våkne opp så tidlig? Okay, gracias, Shuta Julia. Okay, I think we are here, Ruta 68. Which was the setting for one of the vignettes in Relato Salvaje, which is a very dark comedy from Argentina from about 10 years ago, basically about rage. Okay, 46. Okay, only 121 kilometers off. Ja. Montenegro. Interessant. 목욕합니다. 남조선 내과 외과 신경외과. Okay, okay, it looks like we are in a healthcare facility area. Yeah, we are in South Korea someplace. 한국장. Okay, that's not particularly helpful. I was hoping there might be a town name in there someplace. There was not. Oh wait, Sohondong. Never heard of that. Okay, major urban area though. Det ska vara intressant. 새 전용 관광. 삼독 소방서 소주미르의 새로운 출발. 하지만 이는 어떤 도시냐? Jeg kan forstå det. Jeg forstår montenegrinsk er ikke noe problem for meg. Ja, og det språkene i eks-Jugoslavi kan jeg forstå til det minste. 달소구. 임대. 소울이라고 하자. I wouldn't call that a fantastic guess. I was like halfway across the country from it. That was Daegu. And now I'm going to take a little bit of a bio break. And I will be back in just a few minutes. Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital
還元一級の先というのは本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula giderim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is sword, and that also means elephant. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Ça, c'est ça, che c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça, sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyper Polyglotting avec Élise. Moi, c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues. 10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Night. Night. Come on. Bien. Yo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Barbaz, okay, Barbaz is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon. Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, ecco, la gente... è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo. Io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io. I buy a computer or what? And here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or, but sounds vaguely like Hogun and the hok in Hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that means it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, ça son chassé. Ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt. Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpoly. And I'm back. Okay, so we are someplace Portuguese speaking. So far, we are in fairly urban area. It should be fairly easy to figure out whether this is Brazil or Portugal. We just need a stop sign, really. I mean, so far my overall sense of it is that we're probably in Brazil. Just statistically, there's way more Brazil than there is Portugal. And it's much more common to end up in Brazil on GeoGuessr than Portugal. Usada Braquinho. Oh, wait. Wow, okay. They did not blur out this number plate. And from that we know we're in Brasilia. We're in the capital. At least let me put it this way, it is probable that we're in Brasilia. That would simplify life greatly. We know, okay, we're definitely not in Portugal, though. Yeah, that was definitely a Brazilian number plate. But a car parked in an area being from a place does not mean strictly that is the place that you're in. Yeah, I mean, 100% Brazil. The signs are South American style. The infrastructure also has that national capital feeling. As in South America, as in many other places, like the best infrastructure funding tends to go to the capital. Everything else comes second. Okay, yes, we are indeed in Brasília. Colégio Objetivo GF. Well, let's see if we can get some more details, because there is a fair bit. I mean, of the territorial units of Brazil, it is the smallest by far. But it would be nice to get a more exact location. Burger King. Seub. $49.78. Easily one of the best scores I've ever got on a Brazil round. 23,845. Okay, gotta play one more round and This might be a really easy one. Mezinarodny Hudebny Festival Spielberg. Okay, to wypadnie jak Praha. Sporzici uciekajcie, kacie korun. Ano, ano, ano. To je Praha. Josztowa. Okay, but where exactly in Prague are we? Komenského... No, Brno! To je Brno! Komenského náměstí. Okay. The polyglot gathering was being held there. In Brno. Hrad Spielberg. Gorkého, Konicová, Sokolská. Okay. Yes, this is... The thing is that I don't actually... Never been to Brno. So I'm not actually entirely sure where things are. I have a reasonably good idea of where things are in Prague. I got up a little bit early today. Well, actually a lot early. To have breakfasty, lunchy type thing with my amazing nieces. And part of me can go straight back to sleep right now. Sorry. $49.95. Okay. Good start. Okay, that is a start that potentially allows me the chance of beating my current record. Okay, this looks like Britain. Everything about this says Britain to me. The terraced houses, and the fact that stuff's in English, the asphalt footpaths, all feels very much like Britain. Percy Street, Eastwood Baptist Church. Come on in and make their day. Yeah, MOT Service Center. 3 Tons Garage. Okay, we are fairly certainly in England. There's been no Welsh anywhere, which tells me we are not in Wales, that we would have seen at least a little bit of Welsh by now. Eastwood and District Victory Club. Okay, so Eastwood is the town name. Okay, this should say what the local authority area is. Please tell me it's not Eastwood, because it does not say what the local authority is. I've never seen a bin like that in Britain. That seems to be... it's a new style bin. Essex Street Garage. Library Information Center. Does not help, but yeah, I mean, this is 100% we're in England. That much is clear. Wellington Inn. Okay, Eastwood Dental Center. Heron Foods. Didn't know they went to the shops for their foods. I thought they just kind of went to the lake. Freckleton and Brown, independent estate agents. An actual Blockbuster video. Wow. I didn't know that was still a thing. Derbyshire. Okay, thank you. That is something I can work with, finally. Melton, Mowbray, Ilkeston, Belper, Loughborough, East Leek, Bingham at Wolverhampton. Wait, Barton under Needwood. At Tuxedo and Boylston, Eastwood. Oh, there we have it, right by Nuthall. Old wine vaults, Mansfield Road, A ghost barber shop. Peak Pharmacy. Just when you thought you had seen it all, we have Peak Pharmacy. And that's just when you get really sick of pharmacy, because you've just hit peak pharmacy. An actual Blockbuster video. How about a street name? I mean, this is clearly the high street. It has all of the symptoms of an English high street. The Lady Chatterley. It looks like a nice little pub. HSBC, the High Society Bank of Cocaine. Come on, give me an actual street name here. Oh, D.H. Lawrence birthplace. That helps, because I think I just saw that someplace. Ah, yeah, okay, we're on Nottingham Road. Which way are we going on Nottingham Road? I'm going west. Okay. Now we can solve. $49.99. I am still in within a chance to beat yet another record, a personal record. Okay, this does not look like England to me. Australia, perhaps. There's something about this that immediately doesn't feel like the States. I can't completely put my finger on it. Something about the landscape. Oh, well, let me see what that sign says. Is that 95 kilometers an hour? Yeah, okay, that is kilometers an hour, so yeah. That confirms we are definitely not in the States. And we're in a left side driving place, so we're not in Canada either. I feel like the infrastructure is too well maintained. Ah, damn it. Please don't take me back to the beginning. Yeah, you took me back to the beginning, damn it. I think the infrastructure is too well maintained to be South Africa. So I'm thinking Australia or NZ. Load limit on bridge. What does this sign say here? Can't make it out. Okay. I mean, statistically, Australia would be more likely just because there's more of it. But the street signs don't, they actually feel kind of New Zealand. Oxley Highway, B56. Oh, are we in Queensland? Bendemeer, Tamworth. No, wait. What is the difference between overtaking or passing? I didn't know those were different things. But apparently, here they are. Port Macquarie, Oxley Highway. Tourist Drive is all it says. Bugger. Oxley Highway makes me think Queensland, maybe? I mean, Oxley is in Queensland. Tamworth sounds familiar too. Ah, yes. guy Pennsylvania is named after. Noosa Heads, Rainbow Beach. I mean, Port Macquarie does sound Australian. They name everything after Macquarie. Cairns? No. Warrnambool. Port Macquarie, there we are. And Tamworth. Okay, there we go. $49.31. Okay, no longer in the running for to beat my top score, but still a very nice score, like a 75 points short of a perfect score, and we're fairly obviously in either the United States or Canada. Beyond that, it is so far a bit hard to say. That's a mobile home, not a city bus. Okay, wait, this is going on to... Is that a gravel track? Yeah, that's not a good sign. We're going back to the start. And we're finding... Is the goal to really... I find... is to look for the main road. And you can be fairly certain the main road is virtually never a gravel track. I mean, sometimes, I guess, there are places it might be. But not often. Shawnigan Hills Sports Field. No bells rung. Wait, is that Canada Post? BC Transit. Okay, we are in a very pretty area of British Columbia. Which is, I mean, Canada's really just cold Australia anyway. Not really up in the mountains so much. So I think probably off by like Abbotsford. Stave Falls, Fairfield Island. Harrison Mills. Coquitlam, maybe? Good Dog of Port Coquitlam. In Port Coquitlam, there's exactly one good dog, and that's where it is. I mean, could be now North Vancouver as well. Although it could also be on the island. CVRD. That's a clue, but I don't really know what to make of it. Yes, Canadian flag, just confirming what we already know. I mean, this does not feel properly out. There, BC, like every Canadian province except for Prince Edward Island, is quite huge, and there's a lot of sort of backwoods. There's a lot of remote areas, but this does not feel properly remote. The roads are too nice. I mean, when you get up to North BC, you get a lot of gravel. I mean, this feels lower mainland to me. So, like, maybe around Abbotsford, something like that. But I'm not finding it on the map. This Shawnigan Hills. Okay, this is technically a highway. Duncanby Lodge, Rivers Inlet, BC. Experience the Duncanby difference. What the hell is Rivers Inlet, though? Never heard of that. Dudney. Allenby, Headley. I mean, it could be up by Kamloops. Fanny Bay. Great name. I mean, could be on the island. Shawnigan Lake. There we go. It was on the island. Okay, now I just need to find... Vancouver Island is actually kind of huge. Blowhole. Ah, damn it. Where? Okay. Okay, too far north. That's my problem. Leechtown. Shawnigan Lake. There we go. It's a really small lake. That's why I was having trouble. 49.99. Yeah, I mean, this is right now in the running for one of my like top 5 scores, I think. Okay. Okul taşıtı Türkiye'demiz. Türkiye bu. That was easy. Of course, Turkey is actually kind of huge. Yeah, print's too small. Get in closer. Ah, that's making me dizzy. But this is a major highway. At some point we'll be getting a sign that says what we're on the way to. Whatever it is, we're heading east. Oh, wait, there was a number there. No, that wasn't. Ouch. Looks like a fairly major city nearby. I mean, this does look like the sort of highway you'd have on the way to a fairly... Wait, you telling me this is as far as I can go? Bullshit. Okay, we're gonna go west on this then. Yeah, it looks like a pretty big city. And we know it's in Turkey, but Turkey has a few of those. What does it say? Belko, güvercinlik saniyesi. Belko. Bilmem. Hacettepe Üniversitesi, Çayyolu, Bilkent. I'm just going to start from the assumption that good infrastructure means we are probably not far from the national capital. Kaleci, Kırıkkale, Ahibuz, Karakeçili, Ayaş. Okay, what were those names in Hacettepe? Nişantepe, Başakşehir, Göztepe, Karlıktepe, Göztepe, Fatih. Hacettepe, Göztepe, Karlıktepe, Çınardere, Şükürpınar, en alguna parte de Turquía y sospecho que se trate de Estambul, pero todavía no he podido verificar esa hipótesis. Let's just continue on the major highway and hope that that's going to give us more information. I mean, it's almost certainly going to. Where the hell are we now? We're in the underworld. I must have eaten a pomegranate. Havalimanı, Eskişehir. Okay, yes, I know where we are. In fact, I know somebody from there. We're not far from a major airport as well. Well, from an airport. Kızılay Bilkent. Okay. Okay, we know we're someplace around here. Close to Ankara. Oh. I have to say, I'm sorry, but I'm actually kind of tired because I got up really early, did not get a whole lot of sleep, so I think I'm going to knock off a little bit earlier than usual tonight. And just get a little bit of rest. Because I'm still streaming it again at 11:30 p.m. and I'd like to be awake for that. So I'm going to just call it an evening and just thank you for joining in. Sorry about the delay. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And I will be back at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow, U.S. Eastern Time, where we will play some more GeoGuessr and look at more of the best and perhaps not so best of language learning YouTube.